Into News 9, you're watching Unmissable. I'm Nabila Jamal. I take you through news from India and across the globe. Our top story tonight on Deep Dive, we take you through a tragic story of a father, the former COO of Bharat Petroleum, who puts out a real ordeal that he went through when he lost his only daughter. Said that he had to carry out the funeral in Bengaluru, and at every level he had to pay bribes, starting from the ambulance, the cremation ground, the police for the FIR, for the post-mortem, bribe on every level, while he had to cremate his daughter. This is shameful, certainly exposes a deep-seated corruption in Bengaluru, across the country, similar issues. What the BBMP has done after his post, we will take you through that with our panelists on board. And our top story on Deep Dive, also in Bengaluru, where the BBMP and the civic body there, the GBA, now decides that if you are littering, then that litter will follow you. In fact, they're throwing trash right to the doorstep of people who litter outside. If you're throwing your garbage anywhere other than designated spots, that garbage is going to come back to your house and more, along with a fine. Great move, setting precedent. We will take you through that. And finally, on our top story on Day Tonight, a tragic case of a Zepto delivery agent who was murdered by two people, a husband and wife. Road rage. They literally chased the Zepto delivery boy and killed him, ran over him, killed him, tried to erase evidence. We will take you through details on that. I will start with all of it. As always, the headlines first. India kicks off Trishul, a 12-day tri-service war game along the Pakistan border. Its first major exercise since Operation Sindoor. Drills span Gujarat and Rajasthan with a sharp focus on Kutch amid renewed tensions over disputed Sir Creek region. US grants India a 6-month waiver from sanctions linked to Iran's Chabahar port project, allowing continued operations at the Shahid Beheshti terminal. MEA says talks with Washington on a trade deal continues as India studies the impact of new UN oil firms. President approves elevation of Supreme Court Judge Justice Surya Kant as CJI from November 24th, succeeding Justice Bhushan Gawai. He will be serving until February 2027. An affidavit to the Supreme Court. Police allege Sharjeel Imam, Omar Khalid and others conspired to incite an armed rebellion during the 2020 Delhi riots, which coincided with Trump's India visit to trigger nationwide unrest. CBI-led SIT uncovers 250 crore adulterated ghee racket supplying 68 lakh kgs to Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam. In fact, accused Chinna Appanna remanded as probe tracks Hawala links and kickbacks. Supreme Court has appointed a panel to probe the Karur stampede in Tamil Nadu. Panel that will be led by Justice Ajay Rastogi reviews the CBI probe into the TDK rally that killed 41 and also may visit the site after examining key investigation documents. US ends automatic work permit extensions, triggering fears of job losses, especially Indians who might be largely impacted. New Department of Home Security rule to impact thousands of Indian professionals holding the H-1B spouses and students visa. I will take you through that news in our news today. All right, starting with a very tragic story of a father who had to face levels of corruption and a tragedy. A city like Bengaluru, one would assume that officers would go as per the rule, as per law, but out of turn. Police officers allegedly took bribe to give FIR, to give post-mortem reports, the cremation ground officials taking bribe. It's just sad and the father had to actually get on a public platform on LinkedIn to actually pour his grievance after losing his only daughter. The father you see there, Akshay Sivakumar, K. Sivakumar, who's the father of Akshay Sivakumar. This really exposes, this story here exposes the levels of corruption that prevail in this country, this story is a painful testimony to it. In Bengaluru, a father who was mourning the loss of his only daughter found himself paying bribes at every step of his her final journey. K. Sivakumar, a retired Bharat Petroleum Chief Financial Officer, CFO, shared his ordeal on LinkedIn, a post where he expressed whatever happened in the final moments after his daughter died and the funeral that he wanted to carry out, the way he was pushed to pay bribe at every level. His post has really left thousands shaken. He's written how civic workers, ambulance drivers, police officials all demanded cash before performing their duties. Ambulance driver, he says, asked for 3,000 rupees. The crematorium staff asked for money. And in fact, the crematorium are all run by the BBMP, the civic body, and they refuse to proceed with the cremation without payment. That's what he says. Even the police station, he says that he was asked by the police as well to pay up for copies of FIR and postmortem report. The grieving father says that he ran from counter to counter trying to do the right thing only to be met with the same demand, money. He says in the post, when you've just lost your child and are barely able to stand, these are the people you depend on. He writes his words echoing with grief and helplessness. Following this, in fact, the BBMP has now taken action, has ordered an inquiry and promising strict action against those found guilty, at least at the crematorium ground. Also, two cops have been suspended. The police have also taken action. 2 cops have been suspended, we hear. Civic activists, on the other hand, say that this is not an isolated case. This has been happening quite often, calling such cases as unfortunate. In fact, civic activists say that processing fees is often taken from aggrieved families, which is an open secret. They say this is an open secret. Bengaluru's cremation ground takes processing fees, which is not there, but it's asked for. They're now demanding digital payments, CCTV surveillance, and clearly and also rate cards and rate boards displayed so that families are not exploited. In fact, as part of measures now to ensure that this does not happen again, the civic body says that they're going to ensure CCTV cameras are in place. They will ensure digital payments only so that the money is all tracked, and also they will display boards that will show clearly what the amount is, how much should be paid, nothing extra will be taken from the families who are aggrieved, so that at least when the families are at their weakest moment, they aren't preyed on. Now, if this can happen to someone so educated, financially secure, influential enough to speak out, imagine what happens with the poor, the powerless, who we hear go through this every now and then. We hear countless of stories coming from the marginalized, but never really have we taken them so seriously, right? Until a person of this stature spoke up. That's when it acted like a wake-up call, not just for us, but for the civic body and the system itself. To bring our guests on board, we have Sanjay Sahai, former ADGP, Karnataka, joining us. Brinda Adige, social activist and Director, Global Concerns India. Vivek Menon, former advisor to the Chief Minister of Karnataka. Thanks very much, all of you. I'll start with the former police here, Sanjay Sahai. Sir, 2 police officers have been suspended. Why does it always have to be post-mortem action instead of a preventive measure? Bengaluru taking bribe for ambulance, taking bribe for cremation ground, and then FIR post-mortem report also you got to pay money for. Is that true, sir?
I'm just bewildered about the fact as to how country is waking up to this post. As if the journalists, the vigilance guys, the government
know about it.
Is unaware of this fact. The point is we are running commentaries on things which does not matter. Things which are hitting us right, left, right and center from morning till evening. If a CFO of a Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited is forced to pay there, literally anybody and everybody is doing it. There are people who do not come up, and the corrupt are not bothered. And what happened to the police and what happened to the BBMP officials, this is a part of a standard toolkit where you are made to believe that there are few black ships. But at the end of the day, you go anywhere. Now you put 2 and 2 together. So cremation ground, ambulance, police, FIR copy. If you add up together, this fellow wouldn't have gone and told independently that the ambulance fellow has taken money. So whether you will take money or not. He goes to each of these offices and everywhere he is welcomed with the same sort of approach. And you bring that with vigilance, bring that with lokayukta, bring the whole paraphernalia I've been repeating over and over again, besides the mainstream governance, the anti-corruption agencies inside the departments, outside the department, whether they are clean or not, that is a huge question mark.
You know, if your top bosses are corrupt, it percolates down. If my boss is taking money, why won't I?
The issue is, let me tell you very clearly, the top political class, what they are doing, not they are doing, so all of us know. But the point is, the bureaucracy is a permanent organization.
Correct.
And they have the nature of immunity which they have. Correct. And they have decided to become part and parcel of the political class, that ethos, that culture, and that whatever you can call it, ecosystem, while coming out in the open and claiming that we are different. It is literally strange bedfellows, but they are bedfellows nonetheless.
So we've normalized corruption, sir, that means.
It is not normalized, it is internalized. It is not normalized, it is internalized. Even the fellow who comes with a gas cylinder to my house, he says, sir, wo khali wo de dijiye thoda bakshish. Now there are bakshish systems also. The BBMP garbage collector. I'm living like a common man for last 5 years.
I'm just saying, absolutely no relation here to this story. But in the United States, there is a system of paying a tip, and it's formalized, right? You pay a 10% of what service you're taking, and there you're absolutely frowned upon if you don't. It's almost as if it's a system there. This much 10% you got to pay, but there is no formal system here in India, so therefore you extract whatever you want, and if you don't get paid, then you won't do work for them.
No, what I'll tell you, it is not a question of whether somewhere there is a tip or somewhere there is no tip. We were made to believe very initial days in our service that our salaries were less. That is why there are lots of people who indulge in corruption. Sir? No, they indulge. No. Then you have the 5th pay commission, you have the 6th pay commission, you have the 7th pay commission, now the 8th pay commission. There are couples inside the bureaucracy who would be carrying 3.5 lakh rupees as pension today. So let's not get into that they are drawing less salary. I think my personal assistant in one of my DG assignments was drawing 73,000 or 93,000 rupees. He was a gazetted officer in his own right. So this whole bunkum which has been created, that they are making money just because they are short of money, it does not hold ground at all.
So greed has no limit, then you are greedy.
It is not greed, it is beyond, it is criminality. They want to reach levels which is unimaginable. See, all this pothole business is what? The whole government in Karnataka cannot make a road correct. The road technology is the oldest of the technologies, most robust of the technologies. It is extremely difficult to make a road which breaks. Whereas what we are having here is roads, even the white top roads. So they break. You give it to Larsen and Toubro, give one single contract. They will do it, finish. There ends the story. Bangalore roads are sorted out forever. But that
no
then the booty cannot
because
be
then you lose out on making that extra buck. Yeah, true.
Yeah, then the booty cannot be distributed.
Correct.
And you are talking about the digital thing. Digital drama also, I'll tell you. See, these procurements are happening digitally for ages now. I think we started some 20 years back. So which means all the procurements are hunky-dory because it is digital. This whole game which is played on the masses, that digital means integrity, digital means honesty. I think this game will run for another couple of years or might be a decade or so. And it's the other way around. When you give money, then that fellow will open your account. The way people are struggling with e-khata is nobody's business. Every single thing, bed management system, you name it, you have it. So this digital, then
so
CCTV.
For what I understand, you got to keep an extra budget for everything you're doing.
CCTV. No, they will not do. The point is, we have lost the expertise, we have lost the capability of creating projects, delivering projects and delivering services. You already have that project in the government of Karnataka where the timelines are given. Vrinda will tell me, I'm forgetting the name of that. So there 7 days, 10 days, 20 days, everything is there.
Let me get to Vrinda. Let me get to Brinda. Brinda,
Brinda will elaborate further.
Grieving father has to bribe every level of officials. Not like 3,000 is much for the man. He was a CFO of Bharat Petroleum, a reputed person, worked for years as a person of stature. So I'm assuming wealth was not an issue, money was not an issue, but it was just the fact that he had to be pushed to the edge at every level, from the ambulance guy to the police to the cremation ground. To pay bribe just to carry out his daughter's final rites. What does it really speak of our civic ethics?
Let us not even go into this realms and nice word called ethics. It is a duty that the Sarkari Naukars are supposed to perform. I am stressing on these words because they call themselves public servants. That is the appointment letter that they get and they sign. So they are supposedly my servant, which means I am the paymaster. Now, the colonial mindset has not yet gone. And we also have allowed it to continue. Now, Mr. Sai spoke about this whole internalization that has happened. And it has happened and it continues to happen with impunity. The impunity, everything that Mr. Sahai spoke about, who do I complain to?
Yeah.
What is the action I'm expecting to happen? By when? Even now, somebody, the police commissioner, has suspended 2 police officers. Now, suspension is vacation with half salary. Why should you be suspended? Then after the departmental inquiry is done, what happens? Is it there in the public domain? I'm not talking only about the police, but about every other department. Nobody's pulled up. Now we talk about the Lokpal. The people in Lokpal, are they clean? Because you have to be absolutely above board to be able to go and get those who are taking the bribe and registering a case. How many cases are registered by Lokpal? And in which courts are these heard? And what is the logical conclusions that these cases are brought to? Nothing. Now, it is even more easier in all the government departments because we have something called contract service. So I'm not actually a government employee, but I'm employed by the government. Of course, this English is such a beautiful language that we can go on talking on these kind of things.
Yeah.
So I will take a bribe and I don't have any master above me. I don't have any senior officer above me. And if I go and complain, woe to me. My certificate is not going to come out in this lifetime. They will do everything under the sun. And I can tell you from my personal experience, from 2017, I'm running behind Bestcom for, wrongly charging me some 27,000 rupees.
Oh, God.
I've gone all the way up to the ombudsman. And every time a new engineer will come and he will say something, it is done, it is coming, it is going. And then you have to pay a bribe to them for going through with the order. The order has been passed by the ombudsman. So I'm saying that how many people are there? You said 3,000 rupees is not much. 30 rupees should not be demanded by anybody. Forget 3,000 rupees.
Not a single
How
penny.
dare you demand a bribe?
And that
How shameless of
they're
you.
preying on the distress and the grief of a father.
That's exactly.
And
It's
that
emotional
moment,
blackmail.
the families won't deny it. Whatever the money, you give it and get done with it.
Emotional blackmail. because
It
at
is
that time-
emotional blackmail. The shocking part is that we've heard
Criminal emotional blackmail.
so many stories from the poor. We often carry stories on our social platforms. Sadly, that does not even get enough coverage on the main television because it's very important real estate. TV is very important for us, so we select and condense stories and pick only a handful to relay. This man made it here because of his stature. I'm being brutally honest. But the
Absolutely,
poor who are
absolutely,
there,
you're right.
the number of stories that are on social media, I see the person died. You won't believe it. Ambulance driver stopped to watch a leopard. A leopard crossed by. He stopped to watch a leopard and a 20-year-old boy with malaria. He had to be rushed to the hospital. He died because the ambulance driver stopped in the middle of the way to watch a leopard and then said, if you want me to go further, give me money, I'll go. So
Yes.
even though the family paid, the boy died by the time he reached the hospital. It just made it until social media. But I'm
There
saying
is no accountability
Yeah.
by anybody at any stage.
No, but then where's the fix? Vivek, you want to come in on
There
this?
is not a fix. There is not a fix.
Let's bring in Vivek also. Vivek, who benefits from such leakages? Please tell me who benefits from keeping such leakages alive.
I think corruption has basically woven itself into the fabric of this nation. It's very unfortunate. We had people like Santosh Hegde who was out there as the Lokayukta. Today, the Lokayukta's position is completely non-existent. And I think that's where the problem starts. It starts at the top. When you start condoning corruption at the top, it starts seeping down to the fabric of the nation. And I think, everyone, within the BBMP, within every agency literally today, believes that corruption is commonplace and that I'm just another person, in the whole system. I can extort from the system. I can extort from the system. It's not just about the politicians itself. It's in the collective conscience of the country itself today that corruption is condoned. It's commonplace. It can happen. And I think, that's where, your integrity, your values, all of that stuff has just been thrown out. And corruption is at the very highest of levels. Today, if you look at it, whether it's the central government, whether it's the state government, whether it's local government, corruption is, inherent to it. And so much so that even the position of the Lokayukta, someone who was put in place over there to check corruption today, is almost non-existent. I mean, I remember Mr. Santosh Hegde actually, giving a speech to a whole bunch of students and saying that, we have to obviously reflect on ourselves and say that, we will not take money. And in fact, he had the guts and the gumption to actually dismiss a chief minister, Mr. Yediyurappa, on corruption charges. Today, have you ever heard of that? Today, we look at the BBMP, we look at the infrastructure that's around us, and there is corruption at every level. It's eating away at the basic fabric of our nation. And irrespective of how big we become, we might become a $5 trillion, $10 trillion economy. It is going to drain our economy because it's eating away at it. We have to have a complete course correction. We've got to talk about ethics. We've got to talk about, and coming back to salaries of government servants, but compensate them adequately. Give them, at the end of the day, they don't have the morale today. A cop today can be bought out for 50 rupees to 100 rupees, right? That's where you need to reinstill the morale in the forces, in the police forces, and tell them that, this money is not just going to benefit you. And I think, that needs to come into the collective conscience of the nation itself, to where we all say we've got to build our nation together. Corruption has to go away. We've got to be ethical in everything that we do.
This is being said repeatedly. I don't know if there's a hard stop. There can be a hard stop. You have countries where their prime ministers are being sent out. They're being ousted for a corrupt activity. That's the precedence a few countries set, but we aren't seeing that here. It's so normalized to know that, and we talk about this in normal conversation, that a political party has spent this much money for elections, this candidate has spent that much money for elections, he did not win or she did not win because she did not spend enough money. It's normal conversation, is an accepted norm. And people fund politicians because they need money to throw at voters. It starts from there. It's the cycle that just, Brinda.
Nabila, if you have to file a case or book somebody at a certain level, at a senior level, you need to get all kinds of permissions. You can't simply book and file an FIR. In our country, colonial Raj continues. You cannot let us assume that you want to file a case on a case of corruption on a IAS officer or a senior officer, or for that matter, any government officer. You need to get various permissions. How can the police even register such a case? And by the time you can get all of that, you have calls from various ministers who are equally corrupt or more, telling you that it is their man or their woman, so you can't touch them. We need a stringent legislation. And that legislation cannot have any kind of more than equal citizen. We are all equal, and if you are caught and if there is a complaint against you of corruption, then you have a ombudsman that must be absolutely above board, made up of even individuals from the civil society, so that nobody is twisting your arms and there's no any kind of nexus, and a proper investigation that can be done, for which we need a separate police team, investigation team. You can't have the same law and order and crime people coming and doing those investigations. Look at all the developed countries. And we call ourselves a developing country. And Mr. Vivek said, this trillion, that trillion, whatever we might be, our systems are still reeking of colonial high-handedness.
Correct.
And as long as we continue with this high-handedness, it is the citizens who will pay at every level. With our pain, with our grief, our anger and outrage.
Okay, I'll
The
circle
poorest
back to
of the
Mr.
citizens,
Sahai.
the citizen who has nothing more to give. I know there are some people, sometimes when they have come and complained, a wife came and complained and said, I went to visit my husband and I didn't have anything to give. Apparently the person at the gate said, you're wearing a nose pin, give it. It was a small dot of gold. And she said, I took it and gave it. So there are people around also who condone it. It's not just that one person asking for it. Now, are we shameless?
No,
Yes.
so what it comes down to that I will work for those who pay me that extra buck. I will not for those who don't.
It's
So
not.
it's as simple as that. That's the behavior if I'm getting paid.
It's not as simple.
No, it's not so
certainly
simple.
not as simple. It is a very well-oiled
Don't
machine.
be thinking there's a guarantee that if you pay, work gets done. No. It doesn't.
Mr. Sahai?
It doesn't get done.
Nabila-
So let's not
Nabila is
send the
not-
wrong messages that if you pay money, your work will get done. No.
What
We
Nabila
work?
shouldn't
is-
even talk about those kind of things.
See,
People have
Nabila,
started using that as a message. It's a messaging, a conditioned messaging. You pay money,
Is
your
it
work will get
backlog
done.
then? Is it just the number of cases that's coming in? Is it overworked? They're so overworked. So if
See,
you
it
want
is-
me
it
to
is-
prioritize you, then just give me a little extra.
No. It is
No, no.
a well-oiled machine. Well-oiled machine, thoroughly well-oiled, different parts known, the movements known, the input known, the output known, the processing known. That is how it is working.
You're saying a part of it might even go to the big boss, sir?
I'm not talking whether it is going, what it is not going. You come with me, you want to investigate as
Yes, it is going.
as a civilian. You come with me, you can see it for yourself, right?
So it does say
Whether-
yes or no? Yes.
Yes, I'm
There is
saying
no
yes.
question of yes or no.
Sir,
There is no question of yes or no. The point is, when I'm telling you that it is a well-oiled machine, I'm telling you, say 1.5 lakh or 2 lakh crores are spent on a general election. When I'm telling you that the affidavits you can't put a AI tool, and you just find contradictions on the affidavits filed to the election commission. Leave aside scrutiny of it. Why scrutiny of affidavits is not allowed? So there are n number of things we can go on endlessly.
No, because you ultimately also want to, the bureaucrats are paying for positions transfers, so you want to make that money back.
You are coming there yourself. See, at some point in time, I was telling that I will write a memoir saying without a posting.
I think, Nabila, in fact,
So
just
how
come
many
in.
of them will say
And I'll tell
something
you
like
one
that?
more. I'll tell you one more thing. Bastar. I was election observer in Bastar. And governance visited Bastar only once in 5 years. Rest of the time governance did not visit. What is the current situation is a different story. I was in Kanke. So I used to say governance is visiting only during elections. And the situation was such that the 3 assembly segments, all the 3 assembly segments had their mustering in the district headquarters and not in the assembly segment headquarters.
Okay, final word as I'm coming to a close from Vivek. Go on.
I think one of the things that we really need, where it all starts off, is, campaign financing. I think it starts with the politicians, it goes down to the bureaucrats, and then finally, of course, it comes down to the administration. I think we really need some campaign finance reform where campaigns are not funded by, these kind of transfers that are made, obviously public funds that are actually usurped. There has to be an ombudsman, there has to be a system, justice delayed is justice denied. Unfortunately, we don't have a fast track system within our courts, but we have to change. The election commission has to come up with stricter norms and enforcement when it comes to campaign finance, because that is the root cause
Correct.
of all the corruption that is coming down. And if we can,
Absolutely
kind of
right.
control that, then obviously these transfers, that are happening where people pay, significant sums to actually get these positions, then they obviously are recovering it from others. That entire, web
Cycle,
basically.
yes.
I think that's
Brinda?
what we really need.
Yes. taking off from there, I think it is time for our country to bring in the right to recall and amend the law if there is any, to ensure that senior officers must be booked. And we must not be asked to go through so much of red tapeism. Because when that can be done, I think the other things will fall into place. And the right to recall is the right of the citizens in mother of democracies. Why is the parliament so hesitant to look at getting this bill and write
You
the
have
law
the same
in
people
place?
because they come from the same lot. The
So we
same
want
people
the law.
making the law.
So we want the law. Don't give us excuses. Another election is going to cost us and all of those things. I'm sure we are all intelligent and wise enough to find so many other ways in which we do not have to spend on another election, but get the next person there. There should be that fear that I may be thrown out, pulled up, and I can no longer hold that position of power.
Mr. Sahai, I'll end with you. You wanted to make that point.
Who will instill that fear? That is the biggest question.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
We
I
the
don't want to
citizens.
kill hope. I want to keep hope alive.
No, we are all
We the
hopeful.
citizens.
We are all hopeful.
Yeah.
Citizens.
That's it. Thank you very much. I really
Thank you.
appreciate all
Thank
of you
you.
joining
Bye.
us here today.
Bye.
Thank you. Right, we slip into a short break. We'll be right back from Bengaluru. A story coming in on how the BBMP is now dumping garbage right at your doorstep if they catch you littering. A great precedent. Stay with us on the other side.
डेली मुझे कॉन्स्टिपेशन की प्रॉब्लम होती है, मैं क्या करूं?
2 स्पून काफी है। ये प्रॉब्लम दूर करने के लिए लायन डेट सिरप। इसमें आयरन, फाइबर्स, विटामिन, बीमारी से लड़ने की ताकत बहुत ज्यादा है। फाइबर, कॉन्स्टिपेशन से रोकथाम। रोजाना 2 स्पून लायन डेट सिरप हल्के गर्म दूध में भी मिलाकर पी सकते हैं।
लायन डेट सिरप
रोजाना 2 स्पून।
भाई साहब, आपने भारत कनेक्ट का नाम सुना है?
एक और सोशल मीडिया ऐप।
सोशल मीडिया ऐप नहीं, वो 700 से ज्यादा ऐप्स पे बिल पेमेंट्स पॉसिबल बनाते हैं।
बढ़िया है।
आप हमें जानते नहीं पर मानते जरूर हैं। हम हैं भारत कनेक्ट।
This week on News Caustic, BR is asking, where is Nitish Kumar?
This is the hand of NK Saab.
Australian women cricketers molested in Indore.
साहब सुनो ना, नहीं टचिंग सच में मेरा काम है।
And Antariksh aka Silvery joins us on NGT. News Caustic's got talent.
मैं आप पे हाथ नहीं उठा रहा क्योंकि आप मेरे बाप की उम्र के हो।
All this and much more on News Caustic.
Welcome back. Let me take you through this very interesting story coming in from Bengaluru, and we're hoping this happens across India because this is certainly the need of the hour. Littering could really cost you now. Bengaluru has decided to teach litterbugs a lesson by returning their trash right back to them under the new trash back drive. What the BBMP is doing is that marshals trace the garbage dumped on the streets, finds the offenders through some bills or labels that are kept in the garbage bags, and deliver that bag of garbage straight back to their home. The message the BBMP is giving here is, if you litter, we will deliver. The city coughs up nearly 5,000 tons of waste every single day. Despite crores in fines, Bengaluru roads and drains still reek of civic neglect. This time, Bengaluru has hit the right nerve though. It's a problem that we face across India. Bengaluru takes the step. It's about now ensuring accountability. Not about punishing people, it's about shaming people who, carry out themselves in this way. Shaming people so that they don't litter, they don't dump garbage on the streets. Latest episode is this. We're looking at a series of incidents in Bengaluru where in the last few days BBMP is dumping garbage right in front of homes of people who refuse to actually dump garbage in designated spots. One such case I'm going to play out for you. Let's hear it.
ಹೌದು, ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಸರ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು. ಪೆನಾಲ್ಟಿ ಕಟ್ಟಕ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಹತ್ರ ಕಸ ಸುರಿಸ್ತೀರಿ ಸರ್. ಸರಿ. ಸುರಿಸ್ಲಾ ಸರ್? ಕರ್ಸಿ ಏನೋ.
1 second.
ಹೌದು, ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಸರ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು. ಪೆನಾಲ್ಟಿ ಕಟ್ಟಕ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಹತ್ರ ಕಸ ಸುರಿಸ್ತೀರಿ ಸರ್. ಸುರಿಸ್ಲಾ ಸರ್? ಕರ್ಸೇನಾ?
Go. The man very confidently says, yeah, throw garbage near my house. It's fine. I don't care. And moments later, you had garbage being thrown at his home. This is the, first of all, this is the attitude, unfortunate attitude that people show. And BBMP officials, they're doing the right thing, going back to his house and dumping that garbage outside his home. And that's when he buckled. He then decided to pay fine. And I'm sure he would never commit this crime again of throwing garbage on the streets. Let's be honest, Indians have long had a reputation for lacking civic sense. We follow rules that have, in fact, we often follow rules that are there abroad, but when it comes to our own home, our own country, we forget all of it. We complain about filth, we blame the system, but rarely ever bother to do our bit to it. This change is now to begin with us. It has to begin home. Small acts of responsibility. And Bengaluru's Thrash Back campaign may have started as a crackdown, but it's really a wake-up call. Certainly in the right direction. This should be the new normal across India, where civic sense is right now lived. It's not basically just a demand. It's an activity that you have to imbibe in your daily life. Let me bring in our guests joining us. Kari Gowda, CEO, Bengaluru Solid Waste Management Limited. We also have Raghavendra HS, Civic Activist and Program Lead by BClip and BPAC. Thanks very much, both of you. Raghavendra, I'll start with you. Your take. Give us a little more on the BBMP's new initiative of dumping garbage back to your homes. Great stuff, we'd say.
I must thank Mr. Karegowda, BSWML CEO, and Mr. Maheshwar Rao, Chief Commissioner GBA, for taking this bold step, to penalizing the violators and shaming them and blaming them.
So it was Mr. Karegowda's initiative.
So it's a Karegowda's initiative.
Oh, we should have him speak first then, Mr. Karegowda, please. Very happy to have you here.
Yeah.
So good that you've started this initiative with the BBMP. Tell us more. Tell us what pushed you.
No, see, every day we collect garbage from the doorsteps of public in Bangalore. There are nearly 5,000 auto tippers. Every day we go to their doorstep for collection of dry and wet waste. Unfortunately, few people, they don't give the trash when we go to their doorstep. So, as per the directions of our Chief Commissioner Maheshwar Rao, Greater Bengaluru Authority, had asked our engineers and from team Porakarmikas, marshals to do the video of people who throw garbage on road. Even though our auto tipper has gone to their doorstep, they have not given. There are 198 wards in Bangalore City Greater Bengaluru Authority limits under 5 corporations. Last 1 week, we had collected information of 1,000 people. We have 1,000 videos, madam, where people have thrown garbage. In the one video which you shown, that fellow was not. He adamantly said, "Yes, I have thrown. What you will do? We will pay. I will not pay the penalty." After when we returned the gift, he paid the penalty. Our intention is not to humiliate the public, to create awareness among the public, to imbibe the basics of civic sense. That's it.
So this is a tough love Indians need. It's not about, embarrassing them with their own garbage, but sometimes you've got to act tough. Some people say this is crossing the line. It's not, what you're doing there is not just putting his own garbage back, but also others' garbage on his doorstep.
Others' garbage. See, we done this exercise in more than 250 houses. Today we have collected almost 3 lakh penalty also. See, this we have not done directly. We have tried them to educate. We have tried them to educate, to create awareness. In spite of all these, people throw garbage on road. Unfortunately, the literate, educated people throw the garbage on road. That's most alarming situation.
Sir, what way people say that you don't have? This is my justification, and I get abused by my friends for this. That if they don't want me to throw it on the road, then they should keep dustbins in every corner. Other countries have dustbins everywhere. Why don't we? Why doesn't our country have dustbins everywhere? I've stopped littering, by the way, but I'm saying.
Madam, you have thrown. Here we have returned the garbage wherever auto tippers have gone. Every day we monitor all 5,000 auto tippers. We have thrown garbage where our auto tippers have gone, and people are not given garbage to our auto tippers. And
why? What's the reason to why they're not giving it to the garbage collectors and instead throwing it on the road?
See, every day morning we collect. We don't collect. We collect only once in a day, madam. When our auto tippers or Paura car makers go to their doorstep, they don't give at that time. After evening, night time, they come and throw on the road. That's the problem. See, even in Bengaluru, Unboxing has come forward to donate some 500 Kasa kiosks. Already, from our BSWML, we have given orders for 70 Kasa kiosks. Last week, one we have installed in Koramangala to avoid this problem. We have, wherever there is a problem, we are installing some 600 Kasa kiosks in another 2 months. Litter bins also we are planning to install in commercial roads. That also will do in matter of 2 months, madam. We'll do.
You know how Indians will never dare to do this abroad. They know that the fine and it's criminal there, and they are very strict in following up on the fine and God knows what else. They're all on visa there, so they're more worried. So
no. When we go to other countries, we will become more law-abiding citizens.
Correct. How?
But not in India. That's unfortunate thing.
Why do you say? Do you believe, Raghavendra, do you believe naming and shaming is the best way to fix this problem? It's a long-term behavior change that you will see in them?
It is one of the way. It is not the long-term solution. That's what I believe in. So we should fix this problem by the root. Why people throw garbage on the street or in some garbage spot. We should identify that. And at the same time, Bengaluru has 14 million population, which has close to 9.3 millions of working populations. 75% of them are work. They go for work. Most of them leave home early in the morning and come late at the night. And nobody wants to keep wet waste at the home. At the same
time, basically they don't want to leave the waste at home in the evening. So because you're collecting in the morning, in the evening they go and throw it on the road somewhere.
Exactly. That is the thing. That is not the acceptable one. So what Mr. Karegowda has said, they are bringing the garbage kiosk. That is the one of the great initiative. I must thank Unboxing Bengaluru and Prashant Prakash for this initiative. If they gave the some 1,000 Kasa kiosks, then most of the people will don't litter on the road or any of the dumping sites. And at the same time, I request Mr. Karegowda sir to deploy some of the people in Kasa kiosk, and at the same time if possible, if they collect the garbage at the evening also, evening collections, that also solve the problems. This is what
this dustbin concept, Mr. Karegowda, dustbins, maybe if you place some dustbins outside, that will be of help.
Kasa kiosks, what Raghavendra mentioned, Kasa kiosks are the bigger versions of dustbins. We are, as he mentioned, we have ordered for 70, and Unboxing Bengaluru, they are sponsoring 500 such Kasa kiosks. They are manned only.
What do you mean when you say Kasa kiosk? It means like these dustbins that we're seeing on our screens?
Bigger Kasa kiosk. Bigger dustbins manned Kasa kiosk.
There also, I'm sure they won't put it inside, they'll leave it outside.
No. We have a separate bin for dry, waste, sanitary. They have to give separately, and we collect there.
Raghavendra?
They cannot throw outside Kasa kiosk.
No, this is not the usual people who will come in scooty and throw it or come in the car and throw it like that. This is people will come wet. This is the wet waste. This is the dry waste. This is hazardous waste. So do you have three separate kiosks? Bins in every spot.
Tell me one thing. Can we have a law, an anti-littering law, a uniform law in India? A uniform penalty. What is it? Tell us. I don't know. Tell us.
No. It's already law is there. Solid Waste Management Rules 2016.
Okay. Pan-India.
Pan-India. It prescribes levy
sir?
of penalty on people who litter garbage on road.
What's the penalty?
Penalty is there, madam, for not giving garbage also. Every household has to give garbage to the municipal, city corporation or BSWML. Second, they have to segregate. They cannot give mixed waste.
Correct.
They have to give wet, dry, sanitary waste separately.
Yeah.
They cannot litter on road. For all this, penalty is there. Law is there, but we are not following it. That's the unfortunate thing.
Correct. So, well, I think you have done a fabulous job. I really appreciate you, and I'm so glad to have you on the show here today because it's a reminder for Bengalurians and people across the country that if you litter, this might just happen to you. You throw garbage on the road, then that garbage might just be thrown in front of your house, additionally with other people's garbage also in front of your home. If you don't want to save that embarrassment, then ensure you follow the rules.
Bengaluru is the first city to initiate this kind of...
I request all Bengalurians to visit our land filling site at Bengaluru. If they visit that site, they will never throw garbage on road. They will not give mixed waste. They will give waste separately.
Okay, point taken. I hope people have heard that. Thank you very much, Karegowda and Raghavendra. I really appreciate and kudos. Great job to you. Stay with us. Short break. We'll be right back on all our top stories on Day Tonight.
मेरी बेटी के अभी से बाल झड़ रहे हैं, मैं क्या करूं?
2 स्पून ही काफी है। लायन डेट सिरप, इसमें आयरन, फाइबर्स, विटामिन्स और किसी भी बीमारी से लड़ने की ताकत बहुत ज्यादा है। आयरन यानी बाल झड़ने से रोकथाम। रोजाना 2 स्पून लायन डेट सिरप हल्के गर्म दूध में भी मिलाकर पी सकते हैं। लायन डेट सिरप रोजाना 2 स्पून।
What is to the nines? In literal terms, it's perfection. But to us, it's not just a phrase, it's an attitude. One that starts at your desk and sends a statement to the world. To the nines is about taking charge. It's a way of life where every seam, every fold, is crafted with excellence. It's timeless elegance and uncompromising quality made for the corner office. It's the ideas that inspire redefining order and elevating the tabletop. To the nines, for the leaders of today and the visionaries of tomorrow.
Look, this investment Guru's tips will double your money. Just claim the offer.
Double your money from any random group. Pay attention. Promising double returns, they'll lure you in tight. Unverified groups will send fake tips overnight, emptying your pockets before you can fight.
Well said! Well said! Well said!
SEBI and NSE advise consult only SEBI registered advisors and make payments only to verified accounts or UPI IDs. An investor awareness initiative by SEBI and NSE.
Welcome back. Let's start with all our top stories. Shocking case in Mumbai. In fact, this man you see on our screens here, he held a whole bunch of students hostage. The Mumbai hostage drama ended with the children being safe, but this man held 17 children captive inside a Powai studio. He's now died after a police encounter. The accused, identified as Rohit Arya, that's the man. He died when he was rushed to the hospital after the police encounter. The police arrived there after Arya held 17 students inside a studio as hostage. Arya in that video says that he wasn't any terrorist, just someone who wanted to in fact, send out a message to certain people. So hence, instead of committing suicide, he chose to take students and kidnap them so that his word can be heard. Listen in.
सुसाइड करने की जगह मैंने एक प्लान बनाया और कुछ बच्चों को इधर हॉस्टेज रखा है। मेरे कुछ ज्यादा डिमांड्स नहीं है, बहुत सिंपल डिमांड्स है, बहुत मॉरल डिमांड्स है, बहुत एथिकल डिमांड्स है, और मेरे कुछ सवाल है। मुझे कुछ लोगों से बात करनी है, उनको सवाल पूछने हैं, उनके जवाब पर अगर मुझे काउंटर क्वेश्चन है तो मुझे काउंटर क्वेश्चन पूछना है, लेकिन मुझे ये जवाब चाहिए। मुझे दूसरा कुछ नहीं चाहिए। ना मैं टेररिस्ट हूँ, ना मेरी बहुत बड़ी पैसों की डिमांड है, कुछ भी पैसों की डिमांड तो है ही नहीं, इमोरल तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं है। सिंपल कॉन्वर्सेशंस करने हैं, और जिसके लिए मैं इन बच्चों को हॉस्टेज लिया है। ये मैंने एक प्लान के तहत ही हॉस्टेज लिया है। लेट्स चेंज 4 मैं सच में करने वाला हूँ। अगर जिंदा रहा तो मैं करूंगा, अगर मैं मर गया तो कोई और करेगा, लेकिन होगा जरूर। इन्हीं बच्चों के साथ होगा अगर इनको हार्म नहीं होता है तो।
All right, let me tell you that investigations have revealed that this man Arya had earlier worked on a government school contract worth about 2 crores and had been protesting for unpaid dues. He worked on a project by the government but wasn't paid, and he's been protesting. He even carried out a hunger strike and tried to reach out to the then Education Minister Deepak Kesarkar's residence as well. He carried out a hunger strike, but none of his protests were paid heed to. His word was not taken in, so therefore Arya seemed to have turned mentally ill, and eventually out of distress, or this is no justification, but out of sheer distress, the man decides to kill himself, but then decides, instead of killing himself, I'm going to take some children hostage so that at least what I say will be heard. My message will be out. That's precisely what he did, but it was such a scare for families. The police finally tried to confront him, and we hear that Arya tried to attack the police. He tried to open fire, and the police eventually gunned him down. The team finally entered that studio where he was with the students. They broke through the bathroom. That was the access point they used to overpower him. It was quite a terrifying standoff, captured in videos as well. And, Mumbai was left shocked. 17 children finally now home safe. This man has died. All right, let me take you through news from Bengaluru. Very sad story of a Zepto delivery agent. Road rage, a phrase that we hear so often on Bengaluru's busy roads. This time it's turned dangerous and fatal. In fact, a Zepto delivery agent, one man who was on his way with his friend to a place, he was off duty, we hear. He nearly brushed a car, and it was a mistake, he claims, his friend claims, and they moved forward. That car, driven by a couple, this case happened near Puttenahalli in Bengaluru. That car driven by a couple, the man is a Kalaripayattu instructor, and his wife was with him, Aarti Sharma. Both of them decided to take action against that Zepto rider. He was on the bike, so they tried to chase him down the streets. They literally chased him down. They missed him on one road, and then they came back, took a U-turn and came back to chase him down and killed him. They drove over his bike, and he was with his friend. Darshan survived. Darshan, in fact, is the name of the Zepto delivery boy. He died, while his friend survived. Varun is the man who survived. So Varun has narrated this incident to the police. CCTV footage later revealed the horrifying details as well. And what's shocking is that the couple missed the biker, and they came back to hit him. And then after they found out that he had died, they've come back later wearing masks to pick up all the broken car parts and destroy any evidence if there were. Both Manoj Kumar and Aarti Sharma have now been arrested. They face murder charges under Section 302 of the IPC and charges of tampering with evidence. All right, a disturbing video coming in from Canada showing a white man hurling racist abuse at an Indian origin McDonald's worker in Oakville, Ontario. In fact, the video shot a few days ago shows the man shouting slurs and confronting both the worker and the person recording him. Let's hear it.
Then who are you to tell us to leave?
Go back to...
Yes. Huh? Yeah. How about you say that again?
Oh shit! Go back to your...
Are you gonna work in there? Are you gonna work in there? No. Then who are you to tell us to leave?
Go back to your country.
Clip has ignited quite some debate about growing racism and anti-immigrant sentiment in Canada. Despite the public backlash, the police there, Halton Police, have not yet issued a statement or have confirmed any action against this man. This comes amid a string of similar instances that have happened in the last few weeks. Ontario lawmaker Hardeep Grewal, remember, said that he was a target of racist comments by two strangers. Right, shocker now for Indian employees employed in the United States. Major policy shift in the United States is set to hit thousands of Indian professionals and their families working there. Starting this Thursday, the US Department of Homeland Security will end automatic extensions of work permits, officially known as Employment Authorization Documents or EADs. Until now, workers could keep their jobs for up to 540 days while waiting for their renewed permits to be approved. But now, under the new rule in the US, that protection disappears. So if your visa runs out, you have no time there, no grace period to wait for your renewal, you will have to leave. That ends your time in the US. That means if your renewal isn't approved before your current permit expires, you'll have to stop working immediately and leave. The change affects H-1B visa holders extensively, H-4 dependent spouses, students on STEM opt, and green card applicants, many of them Indians who have already been waiting years in visa backlogs. The US Immigration Agency says the move will allow for more frequent vetting of applicants, but immigration experts warn that this could lead to mass job losses and forced breaks in employment, especially since renewal approvals can take anywhere between 3 to 12 months. The only exceptions are for people under temporary protected status or other special cases. For now, USCIS is urging applicants to file renewals at least 180 days in advance, but even that may not be enough to avoid disruptions. Tens of thousands of Indian families in the US. This new rule now adds yet another layer of uncertainty for them, especially the immigration system is already right now facing a lot of resistance, this adding to it. All right, that's it for me here. Thanks very much for tuning in. Have a great night.
A resurgent India is racing towards the Viksit Bharat goal, braving global economic headwinds. Bulletproofing our economy from these uncertainties are our homegrown businesses. Powered by tech-led innovation, Indian entrepreneurs are truly scaling up, riding the next wave of disruption with AI and cloud to break into the big global league. TV9 Network in association with SAP presents Visionaries of Viksit Bharat, a series celebrating inspirational business leaders shaping tomorrow. Watch them take an iconic leap. Coming soon, exclusively on News 9.
Irregular periods and unbearable pain. उसके लिए क्या करूं?
2 स्पून काफी है। ये प्रॉब्लम दूर करने के लिए लायन डेट सिरप। इसमें आयरन, फाइबर्स, विटामिन्स, किसी भी बीमारी से लड़ने की ताकत बहुत ज्यादा है। रोजाना 2 स्पून लायन डेट सिरप हल्के गर्म दूध में भी मिलाकर पी सकते हैं। लायन डेट सिरप रोजाना 2 स्पून।
That goat is long dead, but Cyrus Bhai are still alive. Game Cho. This is God's office calling. You're not a VIP, so God won't speak directly, but here's the deal. You have been granted a second chance with a brand new news show.
Thank you very much. Just one thing. You said 2 lives, 2 more lives. So I'll first be a newsman who wins awards, and second I'll be
cockroach.
Better make this show last. No hurry to, be a cockroach. Let's stay here for a little while. Don't want to be a cockroach. Apparently, they have lots of issues, like being stamped upon. It's the same thing as a newsman. I mean, they're not that different.
Light, camera, and action. Kick back, relax, grab your favorite